Remember when getting mail used to be really fun? Well, you're getting a fun piece of mail sometime this week. Not this. This is a bill. It's the 2018 BC Electoral Reform Referendum. Okay, maybe it's not as fun as I made it sound, but it's very important.
For the next month, you're gonna have a chance to change how BC chooses its government. That's right, you're gonna vote on how we vote. And I know this stuff sounds super boring and complicated, and that's because this stuff is super boring and complicated. So we're gonna break it down into something digestible.
The ballot looks like this. There are 2 questions on it and absolutely no explanation as to what they mean.
You got one of these in the mail last week.
Okay, if you got this and you still have it, then it's a great resource, but I probably thought mine was junk mail and threw it in the recycling.
The first question on the ballot is, which system should BC use for provincial elections? Instead of that, think, how do I want the government to operate?
Quick refresher. The main idea behind proportional representation is the percentage of votes equals the percentage of power. With our current system, first past the post, the elected government might only get 40% of the vote, but have 100% of the power. The way that proportional representation works is if a party gets 40% of the vote, they only have 40% of the power. Simple.
First past the post is likely to produce majority governments, where a single party gets to make all the decisions while they're in power. That means if you like the party, you get sweet stuff really fast. But if you hate the party, then the government looks like a dumpster fire you can't put out for a few years.
So with proportional representation, governments tend to be made out of more parties with less individual power, which means that they have to work together to compromise if they want to make changes. It also means that if you vote for a candidate with no chance of winning in your district, your vote for them will still count for something. It'll count towards how much power their party has in the province as a whole. With our current system, if you vote for a candidate that has 0 chance of winning in your area, your vote has 0 effect on the government.
If you're like me and you're terrified of commitment, then don't worry. Because if we swipe right on PR, then we can still break up with it after 2 dates. There's a built-in mechanism to run another referendum after 2 elections to see whether we want to revert back to what we have now or stick with the new system.
On to the second question, and this one is a doozy. The question asks, if British Columbians adopt a proportional representation voting system, which of the following voting systems do you prefer?
The real question you should ask yourself here is, if you want a proportional government, how do you want to get there? Because all of these systems will do it.
In dual member, you pick the party that you want to support, and the first batch of seats are awarded to the winners in each district. Then the rest are filled in to reach proportionality. Things would stay exactly the same as they are now in the large rural areas. We give this system the award for simplest ballot, 1 vote for 1 party or independent candidate. Now, politics can be pretty complicated, so if you like a simple system but want proportional representation, this is the one for you.
Mixed member would have 2 types of MLAs. Local ones representing a small area, and regional ones representing a larger area, which would include a bunch of local districts. We don't know yet whether you'd get to vote for each or just a single vote for both. But either way, this system is being used right now in Germany and New Zealand, so there's a ton of past experience to help us move forward. We already know it works, so it wins the award for most tested.
Urban-rural is a hybrid system that allows voters in cities to rank candidates from first choice to last choice, instead of just choosing one. Then, the candidates that are most agreed on get elected, and the most disliked candidates don't. That being said, the rural areas would use mixed member under this method. Because of the large candidate choice with this voting method, it wins the award for most personalized. You get to very specifically vote exactly how you'd like to vote, but you might also have to do more research in the process.
Once again, there are 2 big questions we want you to ask yourself. Number 1, regardless of who's actually forming government, would you rather have more majority governments or more proportional ones? And number 2, if you want more proportional governments, would you rather have a system with a simple ballot, one that's really well tested, or one that allows you to rank candidates individually?
If you think we misrepresented anything or oversimplified it too much, leave us a comment below, keeping in mind that we were trying to keep this whole thing under 5 minutes.
If this video helped you out, share it, tell your friends, and happy voting.